Inside of Pebble, this is where you'll find your seller leads. In the seller page here, you'll see that leads are organized through these pipelines or stages. You can add stages, change stages, and reorder stages at any time. Not only that, you can also color code them as well. In order to add a stage, you can just go over here, hit add stage, type in the stage name, and choose a color. The ultimate goal here is to move these sellers down the pipelines all the way to the finish end on the right side. Now, this is obviously up to you for you to decide on how to build out your own acquisition funnel. Both the sellers and buyers have their own unique stages which you can create. You can see here we have got a couple leads. Leads can come here automatically through our inbox address, and it can come through something like your own REI land leads website or from other sources. You can also manually add leads yourself by hitting the Add Seller Lead button up here on the top right. If you're going to add a lead manually, you'll just go ahead and hit Add Seller Lead, create a name, an email, and fill out whatever you can here and your notes. Then you'll want to attach it to a property. You can see here I've added the lead's information. I'll hit save. I've made some notes on them, and I'm going to now find the property to attach it to. Typically, the property is already sitting inside your database, as you probably already have mailed them your offer or neutral letter. So you can go ahead and hit select and find that property. Let's say this was the property they were referring to that they'd like to sell. Now, for whatever reason, perhaps you did not actually send them a letter or they're not sitting inside of your property database, you can then go ahead and add that property manually by filling this out. I actually forgot. I'm going to actually add a property on there. And now you can see Jesse is actually tied to a property. Now we want to move them along the different swim lanes or pipelines all the way to the right side until we acquire that property. Now, if you don't like this swim lane or pipeline or Kanban view, whatever you want to call it, you can also view it from a grid view like we used to have it originally. All right, I'm going to come back to the Kanban view here. The last thing is marking your leads. Each lead you'll want to work to determine if you're going to acquire that property or let that property go. You can mark your property won or lost on the top right here. You can also close that lead if you don't want to deal with it, or mark it as unread or delete. In this scenario, I'm going to pretend that we acquired this property. So I'm going to go ahead and hit 1, and I acquired it today. Let's just say I acquired it for $6,000. Great, now I'll hit save. Now the purchase has been completed, and if we go to the property itself, you can now see it is purchased, and we've got our notes here on the left, and all our due diligence and information on that property belongs to this property page. Now, these stages are actually separate from the actual Kanban view in the seller's page. These are actually stages or statuses for the property itself. Now I'm going to get ready for marketing on this property. When I go to my properties, I can also filter by marketing and see that that property here that I just purchased is now under marketing. That is when I want to begin marketing. And that's how you manage your seller leads inside of REI Pebble by moving them along the different swim lanes inside of this view here.